All right, Chiefs Kingdom, listen up. Before we dive into the ESPN mock draft and the crazy picks they just dropped, we've got a little rivalry moment to take care of. If you've been around the channel, you know how much we love beating the Raiders. Not just on the field, but right here too, in the comments section. Now, here's the deal. Over on the Raiders report, Mitchell Renz challenged his viewers to flood the comments with the letter R to rep the silver and black. So you already know what we're doing, right? Let's show them who really runs the AFC West. I want to see that comment section lit up with the letter C. Just one letter, that's all. Type it now. Show the world that Chiefs Kingdom is louder, prouder, and stronger than anything those guys in black and silver could dream of. Seriously. If you're watching this, and you bleed red and gold, this is your moment. Hit that comment box and type C right now. Let's see if we can smash their numbers and make Mitchell regret ever throwing shade at the kingdom. And hey, while you're down there in the comments, double check. Are you subscribed? If not, hit that subscribe button and slap the notification bell too. We've got daily content rolling through the draft season, and trust me, you don't want to miss a single move Brett Veach is cooking up. All right, now that we've declared war in the comments, it's time to dig into the ESPN mock draft. The first pick, Josh Conerly Jr. And yeah, it might raise some eyebrows. Okay, Chiefs Kingdom. So the ESPN mock draft just dropped, and with the 31st overall pick, they've got us taking Josh Conerly Jr., offensive tackle out of Oregon. Now look, I get it. The name might not explode off the screen like a top 10 skill player, but hold on. Let's talk about why this could actually make a ton of sense. Conerly Jr. is a mountain of a man. We're talking 6'4", 310 pounds, with insane athleticism for a tackle. He moves like a tight end in space and has that nasty streak you want, in someone protecting Patrick Mahomes' blind side. Oregon used him in a ton of different formations, and the dude held up against some of the nastiest pass rushers in the Pac-12. But here's where it gets interesting. He's still raw. He's only a redshirt sophomore, which means he's still developing technique-wise. His footwork can be sloppy under pressure, and sometimes he relies too much on his athleticism to recover instead of reading the play correctly from the jump. Now compare him to another OL name that's been floated around for the Chiefs, Josh Simmons from Ohio State. Simmons is more polished but doesn't have the same ceiling as Conerly. So the big question here is, do you go with upside or security? The mock draft seems to believe Brett Veach is swinging for the fences again, drafting a high upside player that Andy Heck and the coaching staff can mold into a long-term monster. And with Donovan Smith likely out the door, the left tackle spot is wide open. Mahomes needs someone he can trust on that edge. And Conerly just might be that guy in a year or two. But hey, I want to know what you think. If you're sitting in the GM chair right now, do you take the chance on Josh Conerly Jr., or would you pass? Hit the comments and let me know. Type S for select or P for pass. Let's build our own war room right here in the kingdom. Coming up, ESPN's second and third round picks are where things get really spicy. We're talking edge rush, a potential Kelsey Air, and a big body on the interior. All right, buckle up. This is where ESPN's mock draft gets real interesting. In the second and third rounds, the Chiefs are projected to grab 3 names: Landon Jackson, Harold Fannin Jr., and Dylan Fairchild. And I gotta say, this trio, it's giving me strong foundation piece energy. Let's break it down. First up, Landon Jackson, edge out of Arkansas. This guy, a physical freak, 6'7", 275 pounds, with vines for arms and a motor that just won't quit. He led the 8 Razorbacks in sacks last season and was a constant disruptor in the backfield. And the best part? He fits perfectly into what Spags loves in a defensive end. Long, athletic, with upside for days. Now he's still developing his hand technique. He sometimes wins with effort over skill. But man, if Joe Cullen gets his hands on him, we might be looking at the next piece opposite George Karlaftis. Quick poll for you right now. Do we have enough pass rush, or should Veach double down on edge? Drop ahs. Your take in the comments. Next, Harold Fannin Jr. from Bowling Green. And hear me out here. He's not your average tight end. This dude is basically a Swiss Army knife. Bowling Green used him everywhere, inline, slot, even in the backfield. He's got soft hands, clean route running, and that sneaky burst after the catch that turns 8 yards into 18. Now, I'm not saying he's the next Travis Kelce. Let's not get crazy. But he's the kind of versatile weapon Andy Reid loves to cook with. Think about how many ways we could scheme this guy into mismatches while Kelce still plays. And imagine what he could become after Kelce eventually rides off into the sunset. You like this pick? Comment Fan and Future below if you think he's the heir we've been waiting for. And last but not least, Dylan Fairchild, offensive guard from Georgia. This one screams, we're not letting Mahomes get touched. Let's be real. With Joe Thuney possibly gone, we need someone who can anchor the interior. Fairchild is a mauler. Georgia ran behind him for a reason. He's battle-tested in the SEC and plays with that nasty finish-through-the-whistle energy that makes O-line coaches drool. He's not flashy, but he's exactly the kind of plug-and-play guy Veach loves in rounds 3-4. Just imagine. Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, and Fairchild as the new trio on the inside? That's a wall in front of 15. So Chiefs Kingdom, tell me, which of these 3 picks is your favorite? Is it Jackson flying off the edge, Fannin being the future of the offense, or Fairchild locking down the interior? Drop the name in the comments. Let's see who the fan base is riding with. And hey, if you're digging this breakdown, smash that like button. It helps more than you know, and it keeps the fire burning for daily Chiefs content right here on Total Chiefs. Coming up next, we break down the full draft haul. Was it all substance, no sizzle? Or did ESPN quietly just hand us a playoff-ready reload? Okay, now that we've gone through all the picks, let's zoom out. Looking at this ESPN mock draft as a whole, it's clear what the strategy was. Fill the holes, protect the core, and stay smart. No wild trades, no flashy skill position reaches, just calculated, need-based decisions. And honestly, that feels very Brett Veach. Think about it. Josh Connerly Jr. gives Mahomes more protection on the blind side. Landon Jackson boosts a pass rush that still needs more juice. Fannin Jr. preps us for life after Kelce. And Dylan Fairchild patches a potentially massive hole on the interior O-line. Now, is this a sexy draft? Nah, not really. There's no first-round WR to get people hyped. No cornerback with blazing 4.3 speed, no shock value. But here's the thing. This is the kind of draft that keeps dynasties alive. It's the foundation laying, build through the trenches, develop the future kind of work that doesn't always make headlines, but wins games in December and January. This feels like a classic floor raiser draft. You don't walk away stunned. But you wake up next season realizing how deep and stable your roster is. And that's something we've seen Veach do before. Think about the 2022 draft. It wasn't flashy at first either. But by the playoffs, Watson, McDuffie, Karlaftis, Pacheco, they were all key contributors. Sometimes the best draft isn't the one with the biggest names. It's the one with the fewest misses. So here's the question. Chiefs Kingdom, what grade do you give this mock? Drop it in the comments. A, B, C, D, or F. No sugarcoating. Let's tally the total Chiefs community average and see how our expectations line up. And if you're still watching, you're the kind of fan who gets it, who knows that championships are built in the off-season. Stick around, because next up, we flip the script. What if you were GM? Let's go. All right, Chiefs Kingdom, now it's your turn. We've gone through the ESPN mock. We've broken down each pick, looked at the upside, the fit, the potential. But let's be real for a second. What if you were sitting in Brett Veach's chair on draft night? Forget ESPN. Forget the experts. I want to know. Who are the players you'd take for the Chiefs this year? You've seen the needs. Left tackle, edge, interior O-line, tight end depth. But maybe you've got your eye on a sleeper WR. Maybe there's a corner you think is being totally overlooked. Or hey, maybe you think we should go bold and trade UP to grab someone elite. So here's the mission. Hit the comments and drop your personal draft wish list. Give us your dream pick at 31, your favorite mid-round gem, your can't-miss prospect we need to grab before the Ravens do. Let's make this section a real war room. And while you're at it, mark your calendar. Total Chiefs is going all in for draft week. We'll have daily videos, live Q&As, and full coverage during the draft with instant reaction to every KC pick. If you're not subscribed yet, now's the time. Hit that button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a second. Oh, and before you go, if you watch this video all the way through, you're a real one. So do this for me. Drop "real one" in the comments so I know you're part of the heartbeat of this channel. And help us hit our next milestone, 4,000 subscribers. You're one click away from helping the Total Chiefs family grow stronger than ever. See you in the next video. And as always, go Chiefs!